Hi, everybody. Sonia Badesi here from Success Fitness. Today, we are going to do a Yoga Pilates fusion because it is Wednesday, right? So let me just adjust this properly. All right. Are we all doing great? I'm doing great. You're doing great, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have our mat set up, and we also would like you also need some water if you need some, but again, don't guzzle it, just keep it sipping, or more so think about hydration before and after your class. All right, so we're going to just start with centering yourself. What I like you to do is just have your feet right underneath your hips, right? Feel your big toe, little toe touching. Check in with yourself, roll the shoulders down and back. Think about a nice straight spine. Think about a string on your head, and you're trying to get yourself nice and tall here. Palms facing forward. You can close your eyes here, take a deep breath in, and exhale out. And again, a nice deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out. And really get a sense to where that breath is going. Making sure it doesn't just stop at your chest. Make sure it goes a little deeper into the belly, expanding the belly. And exhale out. Give me one more of these. Inhale in. And exhale out. Let all that tension go. Shake out those arms. Good. Give me another deep breath in. Deep breath in, but this time we're going to reach those arms straight up to the ceiling. And exhale, letting them come down beside your body. And again, inhale up. Let's soften those knees a little bit with this. And again, right? So we're just going to create some warmth, create some energy. And again, 3. Give me 2 more of these. One more time. Good. We're going to hold those hands up, clasping them, and then just leaning to one side, stretching through those lats. And again, stretching it over, leaning into it, stretching through those lats. And again, coming to the center and releasing those hands back down. Give me a nice big shoulder rolls. Let's get those elbows in there, warming up through those shoulders. Couple more. Last one. And hold it right here. We're going to be balancing on one leg only. So I'm going to start with my left. What we don't want when we're balancing is lean into your hip. Okay, so keep yourself again nice and upright. We're going to take that right knee and we're going to lead with that right knee, make a nice big rotations around, opening up that hip. 2, keep on going. 3, 4, good job. 5, 6, give me 4 more of this. 7, right? And trying to balance, right? 8, so try not to tap that foot down. 9, if you have to, no big deal. 1 more. And 10. Good. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Right foot, nice and even, softening that knee. Left foot comes off the ground, leading with your knee. Nice big rotations. 1, 2, good. 3, 4, we got this, right? 5, warming up those hips. 6, sometimes you're more balanced on one leg than the other. 7, 3 more. 8, last 2. 9, woo, 1 more. And 10. Good. Shake it out. So we should be creating a little bit more energy in the body, a little bit more warmth. Let's go to the end of the mat, and we're going to come into our first sun salutation. So your feet are going to stay right underneath your hips. Okay, so nice and even, pressing those feet back in. Give me a nice deep breath, reaching it tall. Hinging forward, forward fold. Let your head go. Let your shoulders go. We're going to roll it all the way back up. Just warming up to the spine to start before we go right into those sun salutations. Exhale into your heart. Inhale, reaching it up. A little bit more of a back bend, opening up to the abdomen, into that forward fold. Let your head go. Let your shoulders go. Rolling it all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms come out to the sides, pressing those palms together. Exhale into your heart. We're going to add on to this. Inhale, up, reaching it back. Hinging it forward. This time we're going to touch the ground, soften those knees, step your right foot back. High lunge position, aligning your fingertips with your front foot. Okay, so fingertips aligned with your toes. Your back should be staying as flat as you can get it. We don't want to be here. If you need blocks, right? So even a book will work, and just hang on to it this way, or have a chair right beside you, right? So just trying to find a couple tools. Take your left foot back, plank position. Back is nice and flat. Pull that belly button in, spreading those fingers, evenly pressing into the palms. We're going to drop to the knees, point your toes back, child's pose. Digging those elbows in, scoot your nose forward, opening it up into the up dog, rolling those shoulders down. If that's uncomfortable to get to, you don't have to scoot your nose forward like that. Just try to get into each pose the best you can with your own personal ability. Tuck your toes under, downward dog. Nice little V position. Realign those feet, okay? Pressing those heels down as much as we can. Don't force them. Let your head go through those arms. Think about squeezing those knees up into your thighs and then opening it up through the armpits and trying to get those shoulders squeezed together as much as we can. Step your right foot forward. High lunge position. Fingertips are aligned with your toes. Back leg is nice and straight back, straight back. Step your left foot in, forward fold. Let yourself just dangle. Slowly rolling it up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms come out to the sides, pressing those palms together. Prayer into your heart. Exhale. Again, realigning, making sure we're standing nice and tall. Think about your posture. Evenly pressing your big toe and your little toe into the ground, as well as your heels. We're going to do that sun salutation on the other side, and then we're going to alternate one more time on your right and left. But we're going to go through this a little bit quicker. Okay, are you ready for that? All right, inhale, up we go. Into your forward fold. Left foot steps back. Right foot steps back. Drop your knees, point your toes back, child's pose. Digging those elbows in, scoot your nose forward, up dog. Roll the shoulders down your spine. Tuck your toes under, downward dog. Realigning those feet, press your heels towards the mat, let your head go. Left leg steps forward, high lunge position, aligning your toes, your fingertips, ankles and knees are aligned. Back is flat, step your right foot in, forward fold, let yourself just dangle. And rolling it up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms come out to the sides, press those palms together. Exhale into your heart. Again, realigning yourself, make yourself nice and tall. We're going to do this one more time on each side. Inhale up and back. Hinging it forward. Step your right foot back. Left leg back. Plank position, spreading those fingers. Dropping those knees, point your toes, child's pose. Elbows dig in, scoot your nose forward. Up dog, roll the shoulders down your spine. Tuck your toes under, downward dog. Head going right through. Right leg steps in. High lunge position. Left leg steps in, forward fold. Rolling it up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms come out to the sides, press those palms together. Exhale into your heart. Inhale up and back. Hinging it forward. Switching sides, left leg back. Lunge position, straddling that leg. Right foot back, plank position, spreading through those hands. Back nice and flat. Drop those knees, child's pose. Elbows dig in, scoot your nose forward. Up dog. Tuck your toes under, downward dog. Pressing those heels back into the ground, head going through. Feel the stretch in the calves. Spend a couple extra seconds here. Left leg steps forward. High lunge position, aligning everything, ankle to knee, knee to hip. Stepping that right foot forward, forward fold. Nice and slow, rolling it back up. Arms come out to the sides, press those palms together. Exhale back into your heart. Taking those hands back down beside your hips, roll those shoulders out, nice big circles. Checking in with your body. We're going to hold it right here, palms facing forward. Again, checking in nice and tall. We're going to take your head, tilting it to one side, ear to shoulder. And over to the other side, ear to shoulder. And back to the center. We're going to take it right down on all fours. Hands go right underneath your shoulders. Knees are right underneath your hips. And again, when I have my hands on the ground like this, I spread my fingers, evenly pressing into each palm, checking in with my body, making sure our knees are aligned. Let that lower back drop a little bit more. So it's like you're sticking your bum out. Think about you have a tail attached to that tailbone, wiggling it around. We're going to tuck that tailbone under, and I want you to think about it one vertebrae at a time. So as I'm tucking it under, I'm starting right here, tucking it under, and then rounding the rest of the spine up. But as I'm doing that, I'm going to shift my weight a little bit more back so that I'm going to feel it more in this region versus being here and just stretching my upper back. And we spend a lot of time here as is, so that's not really where we want to stretch. We want to go a little bit back, okay? So let's start from that arch position. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, tucking it under, rounding it, shifting it slightly. Not too far. On the inhale, we're going to reverse it. We're going to start right at your shoulder blades, dropping them, then go one vertebrae at a time and arching it back, but in the same time, shifting your weight slightly forward. Not a lot of shifting. It's a tiny shift, okay? All right, let's do that again. Exhale. Inhale. And again, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And again, exhale. And inhale. And again, exhale. Notice I shift just so slightly. Inhale. And again. Last one. We're going to hold it right here in that arched position. And we're going to pretend we have a pencil attached to our tailbone. And we're going to draw a circle on the ceiling going one direction with that pencil. I don't want to let you lose that lower back arch, so maintain that arch. 2, 3, good. Keep that arch there. 4, one more. and 5. Let's hold it right here. So we don't want to do this as we're going around. We're going to try to keep that arch, okay? Opposite direction. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And done. Good. We're going to sit into those heels, arms extended, and really trying to stretch it forward. Think about your cat or dog that you have at home, especially the cats, right? They really try to paw themselves forward. Nice extension through those lats, holding it right here. And coming back on all fours. We're going to tuck your toes under. Walk your feet towards your knees, straightening those legs out until we're in a nice forward fold position. Let your head go, let your shoulders go. Slowly rounding it up one vertebrae at a time. Arms come out to the sides, pressing those palms together. Exhale into your heart, walking it forward on your mat. We're going to again inhale, reaching it up, slight little back bend. Hinging it forward, forward fold. Walk both feet back into a plank position. Belly button pulls in, spread those fingers, dropping down to the knees. Hold it right here. We're going to go into your crocodile pose or staff pose. So we want your hands right underneath your shoulders. We're going to bend through the elbows and we're going to go halfway down and hold it. Make those triceps do the work here. Lifting it all the way back up, tuck your toes under, downward dog. Walking it in, just so slightly that we feel a little bit more of a stretch in those calves. We're going to take your right hand to the left ankle. If you can't quite grab it, go for the left knee. Let's hold it right here. Push into it. The lower down we go on that leg, the more intense it gets. Take your right hand back to the mat. Left hand to the right ankle. Grab onto the ankle if you can. Right? If not, come up a little higher on that leg. Good job. Taking that left hand back to the mat. Step your right foot forward. Left leg slightly turns. Your right leg turns. Your left leg is forward. Bending through the left knee. Hand goes on top of that knee. Slowly coming up with your torso. And we're in that nice warrior position. So I really want you to think about that strength that has to come from that left quad. Okay, let's hold it right here. We're going to turn your torso towards the left knee. When you're ready, clasp those hands together, coming up into your warrior one. Nice deep breathing. The torso wants to open up, meaning that you want to probably rotate towards me, but I really want you to think about keeping your chest aligned with your hips, pointing the same direction than your left knee. Your right foot pressed to the outside of that foot, right? So that's the leg behind you. Looking up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your biceps right by your ears. If that's not comfortable, come forward a little bit, right? So adjust it where you need it. Excellent work. We're going to take those hands to the floor. Step your left leg back. Plank position. Once we're there, slowly drop to the knees. Point your toes back. Slowly lower your hips into the up dog. Roll the shoulders down your spine, opening it up through the abdomen. Nice deep breathing. Pressing it up on all fours. Hands stay underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. We're going to pull the belly button slightly in, so we're thinking about bracing the core, right? So we don't want to be rounded. We don't want to be arched. We want to be right in the center of those two moves. We're going to do a nice little balance challenge. So we're going to go into our tabletop. So we're going to go right arm, left leg extension. All right, let's hold it. I want you to feel the lengthening of the body here. So fingertips to the wall, toes to the wall. It's not about height as much as it is about the stretch. Let's release this down. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Another thing to really be conscious of is that your hip doesn't open up. So you don't want to rotate towards me. Your toes are pointing away from you, but think about your foot being aligned with the floor. Releasing it back down, maintain that nice flat back. We're going to alternate right, left here, and we're going to work with your breathing in the same time. So extending your one arm, opposite leg. Ready? Exhale. Inhale, come back, other side. Exhale. 2. And again. 3. Do not rotate those hips. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. We're going to go all the way to 20. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 4 more. 20. Good work. We're going to sit back on those heels, separate those knees, child's pose. Stretch those hands away from your body. Coming all the way on all fours. Let's turn ourselves over. Have a seat. We're going to lean back into a V position. My hands are going to be sliding behind those knees. Knees are bent. Leaning back until my arms are straight. So we want to keep your shoulder and hands at about that distance. Let's hold it right here, shoulders down and back. Let those hands go. Now, if you can, next level up, feet off the ground. 90-degree angle, hold it right here. Deep breath in. One more. Good. I'm going to set those feet down. I'm going to come all the way down into a lying down position, head down to the mat. Walk your feet in. You want your heels as close as you can get them towards your glutes. Your hips and knees are aligned, meaning that your knees are not popping out to the sides and not pressing together. Okay, so nicely aligned, hands stay down beside you. Just like the cat and cow, we're going to work one vertebrae at a time. Pelvic tucks under. One vertebrae at a time coming off the ground, exhaling and squeeze slightly through the glutes. Don't force it so much that it's uncomfortable on the lower back. Start at the upper part of your spine, lowering it back down, one vertebrae at a time into the arch. And again, exhale 2. Inhale down. Exhale 3. Inhale down. Exhale 4. Inhale down. Exhale 5. Inhale down. And again, exhale 6. Inhale down. 7. And release. Exhale 8. And release. And again, 9. We got one more here. 10. And release. Good. Let's pull those knees into your chest and give yourself a gentle rock side to side, massaging through that spine. Cross your legs, coming up into that seated position, and rock it forward on all fours. If that was a little too quick for you, just get back on all fours, right? However it's best for you. Tuck your toes under, walk your hands towards your knees, into your forward fold. Let yourself just dangle. Slowly rounding it up one vertebrae at a time. Arms come out to the sides, pressing those palms together. Exhale into your heart, walk it forward. Make sure the length of the mat is behind you. That whole sequence that we just did, we're going to do one more time. Okay? Can you remember it? Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, hinging it forward. Plank position, feet walk back. Back is nice and flat. Drop to the knees, point your toes. Staff pose, bending through the elbows. Hold it. Lifting it back up, tuck your toes back under, downward dog. Walk those feet slightly in. Right hand to left ankle. Hold it. Look over, under your armpit, up towards the ceiling. Press the heel down. Keep your leg as straight as you can. Releasing the right hand, left hand, right ankle. And looking up towards the ceiling through that arm. Try to get that leg as straight as you can. And releasing it back to that downward dog. Right foot steps forward. Left leg pushing to the outside of that foot. Right knee bends. Hand on top of that knee. Slowly coming up with your torso. Get ready into that nice warrior position. Right thighs pushing through this nice strong pose. Turning your torso towards that right knee. Clasping those hands. Warrior one. Leaning back. Feel your right quad working. Pressing to the outside of that left foot. Hands go back down to the floor. Step your foot back. Plank position. Drop to the knees. Point your toes. Lower your hips up dog. Rolling the shoulders down your spine. Opening through the abdomen. Back up on all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders. Tabletop. Opposite arm. Opposite leg extension. Ready? Exhale. 1. Switch. 2. 3. Don't twist through the hips. 4. 5. Belly button pulls in. 6. 7. 8. 9. Well done. Keep going. 10. 10 more times. 1. 2. 4. 5. Good. Keep it all aligned. 6. You got 4 more here. 3 more. Last 2. 1 more. And release. Perfect. Into your child's pose. Arms extended. Stretch it out forward. Stretch those fingertips away from you. Coming back up. Have a seat on the mat. Flipping yourself over. Hands go right behind those knees. Shoulders retract back. Leaning back until your shoulders and your knees are separated. Get those hands out of the equation. Both feet off the ground if you can. And hold for 5 deep breaths in. Excellent work. Let's lay on your back. Walking those feet in towards your glutes, hips and knees are aligned. Hands just down beside you, back to your bridge. Pelvic tucks under, ready? Up we go. 1, and release. And again, 2, and release. Exhale out, 3, and release. Think 1 vertebrae at a time. It's like a zipper. 4, and release. And again, 5, and release. Exhale out, 6, and release. 7, and release. Good job. 8, one more. And release. Pull those knees into your chest. Once again, give yourself a nice gentle rock side to side. We're feeling great, right? Good job. We're going to place the feet on the ground. We're going to pelvic tuck it in. Arms extend above your head. If your feet are too close towards your hips, you're going to find it's way too hard to do a full roll up. So walk your feet out a little bit, right? So we have a little bit of help from the hip flexors, but we still want to pull the belly button down towards the floor as much as we can. So pelvic tuck it in slightly. Take a deep breath. Exhale, chin tucks under, reaching for the knees. Oh, coming all the way into the seated position. Slowly come down 1 vertebrae at a time. Oh, and extend. Good work. And again, 2. And release. And again, 3. And release. And again, 4. If you can come all the way up to a seated position, that's okay. Just go partial. And release, right? So do what you can. And again, 5. And release. You're doing awesome. And again, 6. We don't want to feel strain in your neck, so really try to chin tucks under. And release. And again, 7. And release. Good. 3 more. 8. And release. Last 2. Last 1. And all the way back down, but this time we're going to pull both knees in towards your chest and give yourself again a nice gentle rock side to side. From here, we're going to go into single leg stretches. So what I would like you to do is keep one knee pulled in, one leg extends, and we want to keep that leg that's extended about the height of the foot that we're hanging, the leg that we're hanging on to. I do want you to let this leg go a little bit. So we're going to have your hand to the outside of the knee, opposite hand, just to the inside of that ankle. We're not yanking into it. We're just guiding that leg, okay? Lifting it up, chin tucked in. We're going to alternate pulling those legs in. Ready? Pulling it in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift from the shoulders. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to do 20 in total. 10. Keep your chin tucked in. 11. Lift from the shoulders. 13. And 20. Both knees pull in. Let your head come back down. Let's take your ear over to one side. So the number one complaint we get in Pilates is the neck, right? Like my neck feels uncomfortable. So at any point, let's turn it over to the other side. If you need to take a break from any of the exercises, still do the movement, but maybe just rest your head down. All right. Back to the center. We're going to do a double leg stretch. So we're going to have your knees pulled in. And all we're going to do from here is we're going to extend your arms and your legs at the same time. But again, you can keep your head down if this is uncomfortable on the neck, or chin tucked in, lifting it up a little bit harder, right? But the upper abdominals have to contract. Extend your arms and legs. One, sweep those hands to the side, pulling the knees back in. And again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing the head back down. Whew. All right, turn your head over to one side, stretching the neck. Over to the other side, stretching the neck. Back to the center. We're going to go into our 100s. So what I like you to do is you're going to push those knees away until they're about 90 degree aligned with your hip. So your legs at a 90 degree. And what I want you to feel here is easy, a little harder on the lower abdominals, a little harder, hardest. Okay, so you have to decide where you can maintain this position. So pushing those knees slightly back away from you. You're going to feel those lower abdominals. Your hands are down beside the floor. Lift them off the ground. Chin tucked in. Lift your shoulders from the core. We're going to pump those arms up and down. As we're doing it, I want you to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 3 more. And release. Did you feel silly doing that? I always feel silly doing it in the beginning, years and years and years ago. Now I don't really feel silly anymore. But what you may find is if you're just pumping those arms up and down, you may feel a little bit of movement in the core. But the honest truth is, if I go, every time I do that forced exhale, my core muscles contract with that. And that's why we want to do that in the same time. All right. Pulling it in, we're going to drop your knees down to the floor. Drop your knees over to one side, arms laterally out to the side, and let's look the opposite direction that the knees fall. Taking the knees to the other side, looking the opposite direction, right? So we want that nice stretch into the lower back, hip area. Let's do that one more time. Over to one side, looking the opposite direction. Get that nice stretch in. Taking it over to the side, getting that nice stretch in. Taking it back to the center, use one of your legs to rock ourselves up into a seated position. We want the room behind you of a nice soft surface. So if you have a mat, great. If you don't, just make sure that you're maybe on some carpet or lay down a couple thick towels, okay? We're gonna pull those knees in nice and close towards your chest. And I want you to round your spine. So this is where I allow you, or you allow yourself to have not so good posture. Okay, we're going to lift those feet off the ground. And what that means is that we have to balance ourselves more on your butt cheeks. Don't be right on that tailbone. Okay, we're on our butt cheeks. And now we're going to walk our hands a little bit closer down towards the ankle, and we're going to open those legs up. So tuck into it, and we're going to roll like a ball. What I don't want you to do is push your knees away from your body. So we're going to hold it right here. We're going to drop it down. Inhale. Exhale, come up and hold it, right? So your core is going to be doing all that work to come back to the starting position. All right, let's go. 1. Hold. Don't just let it go. And again, 2. Hold. 3. Hold. 4. Hold. Don't just let it go right away, okay? I want you working your core. 5. 6. It's like doing the boat pose. 7. 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. And 10. Keep holding it. Keep holding it. Take those hands out of there, right? This is where you feel the core. 4, 3, 2, and release. Straighten those legs right out. Keep them right in front of you. Give yourself a nice deep breath, reaching it tall into a forward fold. If you can grab your toes, grab them. If you can't, just grab those ankles, or just keep your hands on the floor if you're not that flexible, right? We don't want to hurt your lower back, so be nice and gentle. We're going to take those legs about the width of your mat, okay? Nice and upright. If the posture is a little bit more rounded, or you can't quite sit upright because everything is tight, then you know what you need to start working on, right? Nice and upright, arms come out laterally to the sides. We're going to rotate from the torso, not just your arms. So it's not from here, just rotating your arms. I want you to rotate your whole torso and back to the center, rotating it the other way, and back to the center. Let's pump it for 2. Kind of what we did with the 100s, okay? Ready? Exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Think about your core. Exhale. Inhale. And release those arms back down. Good. Let's cross those legs. And again, sitting nice and upright. We're going to walk those fingertips forward. And what we should feel is a bit of a stretch in those hips, right? Unless you're super, super flexible there, you may not feel this. And so this is where we're all so different as well. You're going to maybe do one position where you're like, nope, no idea what you're talking about. I don't feel it. Where other positions like, oh yeah, I totally feel that. Okay, so walk it forward as far as you can go, stretching through the hips. Walking it all the way, nice and upright. Hands go behind you. Take your hand on the knee, rotate, look over your shoulder. Walking the hand back, walking it over to the other side, looking over your shoulder. Keep yourself nice and upright. And back to the center. We're going to cross those legs over the other way. Okay, might feel weird. Walking those hands forward and as far out as we can. Head going through. And all the way back up. We're going to rest our hands on top of your knees, shoulders down and back. Think about evenly pressing into each butt cheek. Okay, if you need to sit on a block, you might want to sit on a block here. And I'm inviting you to stay here for a few minutes. So even when I'm gone, I want you to try to stay here for a few more minutes and really think about your deep breath going into your lungs, your diaphragm, into the belly. And exhaling it out, pushing that belly button towards your spine. And it sounds funny when I'm saying belly button to your spine, but if you can only envision just really trying to pull it all in and exhaling all that stale air. Let your shoulders go. And while you're in this position, so sort of do what feels right. Meaning, if you need to move your head a little bit, side to side, if you need to move your chin down, creating some half circles. Just sort of get in the right mindset of being nice and relaxed. Stay with this for a few more moments. Thank you for joining my class. My name is Sonia Badesi from Success Fitness, and I'll be seeing you for our next workout, if that's next Wednesday for the yoga lattes, or if that is on Friday for our full body conditioning, completely 100% up to you. But I'll be seeing you soon. Make sure you hydrate, make sure you stay safe, and get some vitamin D on your body.